everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week has simply just flown over and I found myself at a bit of a loss of what to do for this week's video. However, I was going to like my massive tub of just sketchbooks and different art pads that I've got, and I come across my stationery watercolour sketchbook. It gets called a watercolour journal, I think, is wrote on it, but they're pretty much just little mini sketchbooks. And I started back in 2024 and I just randomly stumbled across it again, and I was trying to learn how to draw like loose fitted like watercolour flowers and different types of plants, but I basically only did I think about like 3 pages, and then I kind of just left it at that, and that was later in the year. I think the last thing I painted in it was the lily pads, which I did an actual YouTube video for, which I'll link down below. I thought, well, since I haven't got any idea of what to do, I may as well get that back out and restart to try, like, not restart, but go back on to learning how to paint flowers in watercolour. I will obviously do other plants, it won't just be flowers across the year, but I hopefully will get this kind of semi-finished, maybe before summer. But the main reason of me wanting to learn in the first place is I go out plein air painting, especially in the summer, a lot, because my dad likes to hike and take photographs around, like, the northeast. Since we go out so much, me and my family, we always seem to take sketchbooks and I always seem to plein air paint. The one thing, common occurrence that I always seem to go through is I struggle to paint scenic like scapes, like landscapes. I'm just not really that good at painting trees, leaves, plants, that kind of thing. So I thought if I kind of learn myself and I get a bit better at it, I'd feel more comfortable actually sketching outside, because the whole sketching outside and bumping into people and talking to people literally does not bother me. I'm the opposite, I'm quite a chatterbox. But in terms of actually painting the landscape, that's why I struggle. I'm just not, like, it's not really my forte, I just don't think. So I thought I'd get back into that and basically do some loose watercolour paintings for you guys. I do end up going over a few of these paintings with some of the Polychromos Faber-Castell and the Derwent Colour Soft. I think I only used 2 of the Colour Soft, the rest are just Polychromos. But I do end up showing them in part of the video, all the names of each colour that I use. And then for the fine liners, I just go in with the brown and grey Winsor&newton fine liner, as I find they're not as opaque. I used to use these cheap fine liners from the range, but I tend to find like they stop and start and it really annoys me, and they're not as fine as the Winsor&newton, and the Winsor&newton ones just seem to flow better for me, so they're the ones I kind of use to outline the plant. Then I go in with a bit of loose watercolour and then go in with the pencils on top once everything's kind of fully dried. So I thought that's what I would do so far for this video. So I already drew this little sketch of a field forget-me-not. Later on in the video I also do some UK foxgloves. I am trying to stick with more like UK species of flowers and plants. At the end of the video I will also show you, I did a few sketches already in this book of watercolours. I did some winter jasmine, some cow parsley and some daffodils, and I will show them at the end. Just briefly want to talk about the My Stationery watercolour journals. For the price, they're about, I believe on eBay, about £9.99 now, even though they're a smaller sketchbook. But when I originally bought this one, they were only about like £6 to £7. They are 100% cotton, and they come with 24 sheets. For the price, I actually think they're quite reasonable. They are cold pressed paper, so they are a little bit more on the textured side. I quite like that compared to like hot pressed paper. I prefer a bit more texture. I feel like it gives it more that rustic and more like vintage kind of look, especially with watercolours and gouache. I feel like it can just add some real like effect to the background. And compared to some other brands, I feel like they're quite cheap for watercolour paper as well. I had no issues with them buckling, which I would hope not with it being 100% cotton, and I've had no bleed throughs or anything like that. I do with this one stick to just a few paintings I've done double-sided, but I kind of just stick to one side of the book, so to prevent any imprinting of the pencils, because I do use coloured pencils on top. I do have Fixodent spray, the Winsor&newton, but I don't always spray it because it's best to do it in a more ventilated room, but it really catches my breath, so I prefer to spray that outside. And it was raining today, so a lot of the times my sketches that I do, I don't spray until like a good like week or 2 after, so just to prevent any imprinting I kind of just am doing one side at the moment because I don't want it to stain the opposite page. These ones I actually find, even though it's sewn bound, they lie quite flat naturally even without the clips. I still clip them just to keep the pages as flat as possible, but if you don't have any like metal clips to clip the sides of them, they stay relatively flat, especially when you kind of bend a little bit of the binder back, which I don't tend to find like happens with sewn bound books. But yeah, that one seems to do it, so I definitely recommend them. They're pretty decent. But then again, I also haven't tried out much watercolour paper, but them, Hannah Mule and the Royal Talens Van Gogh watercolour paper, I think are the 3 papers that I've been the most impressed with. They're probably more of like the higher end price budget that I've spent on paper, and I really do love them. So guys, that's pretty much as much talking as I will do in the video currently. I'm just going to give some timestamps of when different parts of the video are. If you don't want to fully watch all the painting parts, you don't want to watch the full paintings, because I haven't sped up any of the time for this. This is just a general cut and short of all the painting I did. I go through a quick slide through of all the different paintings I've done, including the cow parsley, the wild jasmine, all the different bits I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and that's around 34 minutes in case you guys just want a quick flick through. But yeah, I will let you just continue watching the video. Feel free to give this video a like if you do enjoy it. I will link all my socials down below, such as my Instagram and Redbubble. They're the only two social medias I post my art on at the moment. I used to have a TikTok, but I recently changed that just because it wasn't my kind of thing. I still have the app, but for videos that I personally like, but so far it's not currently the platform I prefer posting on. And that's pretty much all the video. I will link the other two of the other watercolours I did previously in this sketchbook if you want to give them a watch as well, in the description box below. And that is pretty much it, guys, so I will let you continue with the videos, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much.